This is on page 184 of Universal Prayers, the book. The second one on that page. This is from Shankaracharya's Shivananda Lahari. Seeking the grace of God and seeking peace of mind. Om Tvatpadambaja Marchayami Paramam Tvam Chintayamyanvaham Tvamisham Sharanam Rajami Vachasa Tvameva Yache Vibho Yiksham Me Dishu Chakshushim Sakarunam Divyaischram Prarthitam Shambho Loka Guru Madhya Manasah Sokhyopadesham Kuru. O Lord, beneficent preceptor of the universe, I offer my worship unto thy lotus feet and contemplate daily on the Supreme Self. I surrender myself unto thee, and with my words supplicate thee. Pray, vouchsafe unto me a gracious glance long sought after even by the gods, and do thou instruct me in the methods of attaining tranquility of mind. Manasaha Sokhyopadesham Kuru. Peace of mind, praying to God for the peace of mind. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us continue. 18th chapter. We were doing the slokas 13, 14, 15. In sloka number 14, Bhagavan Sri Krishna describes 5 factors which are the cause of all actions, and all of them affect the outcome, the quality of our work and the outcome of our work. So these 5 factors we have to keep in mind. Some of them we can control and modify to some extent. You have no complete control of any of these 5 factors. Some of them we can manage to manipulate here, make it better. It's possible. One factor, the 5th one, we have no control at all. We don't even know what it is. What are the first 4 factors? Adhishtanam in sloka number 14. Adhishtanam is the environment where the work happens. The body is the first environment. Everything happens in the body. Body includes the mind also. Actions start as thoughts, usually in the mind. Then the actual happens either through speech or actions by your sense organs. That is the first. And then the body environment functions in a bigger environment where the body performs the work at the office, workplace, or one's own family, or nowadays your office is in your family, your work desk there, or any place. It may happen in the sky. When a pilot is piloting the plane, his workplace is above in the sky, 35,000 miles above. That's where he has to work. So environment. And this happens in a larger environment. The society, the neighborhood, the society, the country, the state in which you work in the country. And that environment also affects our work. And then in the larger environment, the whole world. There also, whatever happens in these days in any part of the world can affect our work, our life in far away, different part of the world. Earlier, it was not so. Before all this technology on this communication, transportation technology, people used to live in small towns and villages, and they were all pretty much separate. What was happening in a village, only 10 miles away, people in this village would not know, they would not be affected that much. Each village grows its own food, it has its own blacksmith and grocery shop and things like that. It's not like that now. Whole world has shrunk and everything is interconnected. Everything is interconnected. What happens in one remote country has potential to affect people on life in this part of the country. So that we know. So this means all these things, they all have an effect on the quality of our work and the quality of the output of our work. And we don't have much control over these things. We can control to some extent the working environment. We can control to the extent of the quality of the body, which is the first environment. We can improve the health of the body, and we can improve the quality of your thinking by observing certain rules of health. That is possible, but not completely. So these are the 5 factors, 4 factors. Parishtanam tatha karta, second one, the doer, the person. Then third one is karanam cha pratagvidam, different kinds of instruments. First instrument is the mind. Quality of thinking affects the work. Then the next level of instrument are the sense organs. Hands and feet, eyes, ears, sense organs. They are the instruments, karanam. And their quality affects the quality of the work and the outcome of the work. That you have seen before. The next factor is vividavashta pratak chesta, effort. Chesta means work, activity, or effort. There also we can have some control. We can improve the quality of my work. We can take additional training and be up to date with knowledge of my latest developments, become familiar with the latest instruments, and be a better worker. And I can improve my method I am following, methodology, and other factors. And there also some control is there. Vividashta pratak chesta, our effort, quality of effort can be improved. These are 4. We are familiar with them, and we can manage them to some extent, not completely, anything. Then the 5th one, Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. There it is the factor X. We don't know what exactly it is. As we saw last time, Shankara says Daivam here means Daivam Atrayeteshu Chaturtushu Panchamam Panchanam Puranam Adityadi Chakshura Janugrahakam. He said the presiding deities, like the sun. We think that each part of our body and the mind is controlled by one presiding deity, one aspect of God. The most familiar is the sun. Sun affects all aspects of our health, particularly the health of the eyes, eyesight. All of this we studied before. And the moon affects our mind. Then the story is where Indra controls our hands. And the Ashwini Devatas, they control our breathing, etc. So Shankara says these presiding deities affect our body, sense organ, that therefore our work. But we can better understand if we translate this word Daivam as the effect of our past work. That's more acceptable view. It is said in one place, Purvajanma Kritam Karma Tadaivam iti muchyate. There is book called Hitopadesha, where moral instructions are given. There this sentence occurs. Purvajanma kritam papa. Purvajanma kritam karma. It can be papa or punya. What we did in the previous life, our previous lives, affecting my work today, the quality of my work and the outcome of my work. There also you have no control at all. Assuming that it is so, if I did something bad in my last life and it is affecting my work now, because that bad karma I did in the past life is determines the quality of my body, mind, and everything. So that I cannot change. I cannot go back in time and change something mistake that I did. Something good that I did also is beneficial. It's helping me in a positive way in this life. You call it prarabdha karma. Prarabdha means that which has begun. Prarambha, beginning. Prarabdha means that karma which has begun to bear fruit. So that we cannot change. There is a little bit hope there. If prarabdha is all completely predetermined, I cannot change at all, then there's a difficult situation. If it is bad, I need to change it. There, Sri Ramakrishna and the Holy Mother Sarada Devi, they have given us a word of hope. They have said that if the past effect prarabdha is bad, producing problem in the body, disease and other things, prarabdha determines some most aspects of our body, in which family you are born, parents, determine by prarabdha. Our siblings who comes as my relative sibling, determined by prarabdha. The place where I work, my co-workers, that also affect the prarabdha to some extent. So all these are affected by prarabdha. So if you want to change the increase the or change the bad effect of bad karma, we can do so to some limited extent. Traditional view is you can't change prarabdha at all. But Sri Ramakrishna Holy Mother said you can change the bad effect of past bad karma to some extent, to quite a bit extent. Holy Mother says. How? She said by intense prayer, one can reduce the bad effects of past bad karma to quite a bit extent. Prayer has to be very intense spiritual practice, not just half an hour japa in the morning, half an hour in the evening, will not cut it. She said if you do 10 to 15,000 or more japa every day with intensity, devotion, then you will see visible effect in the reduction of bad prarabdha karma. She gives an example. If the prarabdha is so bad that you are destined to lose a hand, then with this kind of intense prayer, you will end up losing one finger. It will be there, some effect will be there, you can't make it zero, but it will be much less. So that is a word of hope. So if bad karma in the past, either in this life or in the previous life or lives, is affecting, producing a bad effect in my life now, affecting my work, my health and everything, then there is a hope we can improve, change the situation by intense prayer in this life. But that is also not easy. To do 15,000 japa every day, it's difficult for many people. She could do 20,000 japa, Holy Mother. She would get up at 2:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning and do japa until daybreak. Then she would start other daily work. So you cannot do all that much. Some people can do. There are people who can do, but difficult. So that is the fifth factor, prarabdha karma. Past action, good or bad. It need not be only bad, it can be good also. Prarabdha can be good also. Good karma done in the past, creating better environment here, better co-workers, good health, clear buddhi, quality of good is very good, result is good. Positive is also possible, not always bad. So this is the fifth factor. Devam chaivatra panchamam. So what is the fifth factor? Purva janma kritam papam taddevamiti muchyate. Prarabdha can also manifest in different ways. The environment, it can affect. Weather, it can affect the person's work. As we saw last time, if a farmer works very hard to prepare the field, close the field, puts fertilizer and seeds, sows the seeds, everything, and depends on the rain. If the right amount of rain falls at the right time, then crop will be good result. If there is not enough rain, then not enough crop will not grow. If there is too much rain, it washes out all the crop. So we don't know which happens in any case. So they have no control at all over factors like weather. Weather travels or affects our travel plans also. You have to go to the airport to catch a flight, and they give enough time for the travel to the airport and some more time to the airport to check in and everything. And you allow some extra time for margin for a traffic jam, etc. In spite of all the precautions, there may be some very big accident, and you may be detained on the road, may not be able to reach the airport on time. You may miss the flight. If there is a big truck accident, a truck carrying hazardous material, a huge truck, 53 feet, trailer, if it capsizes and all the hazardous material covering all the 4 lanes, there's no way you can to the airport. So things like that happen. We are on a control over those things. So what we have to do is to change whatever we can change to the extent we can change. And then do the best quality of work we are capable of doing. With a good attitude, with love, with joy, with gratitude, nicely as an offering, we have to do our work. That's all we are required to do. And when the result comes, then we say, I've done my best. Whatever result, good or bad, success, failure, I will accept it calmly with equanimity. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Remaining equanimous, samatvam, sama. In success, failure, in profit and loss, in gain and loss, in praise and blame, we remain equanimous after having done our best. That's all we can do. So far we have studied all these things before, very important. Now the conclusion of this part of the instruction comes in sloka number 15. Shariravang mano viryat karma prarabhate naraha nyayam va viparitam va panchayate tasya hetavaha. Sharira vang manobhihi. Sharira means body, vak means speech, mana means mind. These are 3 instruments we have. Everything we do has to happen with these 3 instruments, some combination of these 3 instruments. Mind, speech, and bodily action. With these instruments, Sharira vang manobhihi, naraha yat karma prarabhate. Nara means human being. Begins whatever work. Prarabdha begins, undertakes some activity, whatever activity. Nyayamma viparitam va. Whether it is the right kind of activity or something unnecessary, something wrong, whatever, good or bad, a person does with body, mind, and speech. Ete panchaite tasya hetava. Those 5 factors we studied before, they are the cause of all these actions. And the 5 factors affect the quality of our work. And the same 5 factors affect the outcome of our work. So, who is the doer then? Atman is not the doer. Body, mind, sense organs, 5 factors. Adhishtanam, body, mind, sense organs. Karanam, sense organs, instruments. Cheshta, that happens, effort through the body, mind, sense organs, where effort happens. And the environment and the effect of past karma. All of these are apart from the sense, apart from the self, Atman within. Atman is above all this. The Atman is the witness of all these things. Sakshi. So who are we? Who is the karta? Who is the doer? Am I the body, mind, sense organs? Then I think I'm the doer. If when a Jnani says, I'm not the mind, sense organs, I'm the Atman, then no doership for the Atman. Atman is the pure consciousness, witness, no action. All actions happen where? Only at the body, mind, sense organ level. None of which we truly are. You are the Atman. Vedanta says you are not the body, mind, you are the Atman. Tattvamasi. So if you realize that truth, then you are not affected by the work or the result of work. Because work happens at the body, mind, sense organ. The effect of work affects only body, mind, sense organs. So I, the Atman, remain above all these things. No work, no effort, result of work, I am free. No kartritvam, no bhoktritvam. Kartritvam means agency. I am the doer. That feeling is called kartritvam. Bhoktritvam means the feeling that I am enjoying the fruits of my action. Good, good, bad, bad. I did something good, I am enjoying. I did something bad, I am suffering. That feeling is bhoktritvam. So kartritvam, bhoktritvam, these are the bondages. If you think we are the doer, kartru, then you are born the fruit of action. We are born by the fruit of action, bhoktritvam. It may be good or bad, then I suffer and enjoy. And this result of karma makes me do more karma. I'll do more karma, good and bad, suffering, enjoyment. This cycle continues. Desire, karma, karma phala. Desire, karma, karma phala. This is a cycle, a loop. We get stuck in that one. Then there is no way to exit from this. That's why we have to undergo life after life after life. Where does it end? If you're satisfied with that, then there's no problem. We have no problem at all. If I'm satisfied with what is life now with the world, then there is no seeking improvement. It's good, everything is okay, fine. But if you are not satisfied, if you suffer from the limitations, sufferings of life, if you want to escape from it, then we have to look for a solution. The solution is to establish an experience of true identity. I'm not the body, mind, sense organs. I'm the Atman. When that realization comes, experience comes, then you rise above the level of karma phala, established in total, absolute, permanent peace. Until that self-knowledge dawns, as long as you are at the body-mind level, sense organ level, then suffering, enjoyment, duality are inevitable. So in this way, Bhagavad Gita shows that the ultimate solution to all suffering, permanent solution to all suffering, and enjoyment of absolute permanent peace that nothing can disturb, unconditional, eternal, infinite peace. That is what Gita shows us the way to do that one. There's liberation, Jivan Mukti. Even while living, it has to happen, not at a future date after I die. Right now, in this life, before I leave the body, I must feel that liberation, enjoy that. Jivan Mukti. That is this all helping us to try for that goal of Jivan Mukti, liberation while yet living. So these are the 5 factors. Tasyete panchayete tasya hetavaha. So the next topic is, since these 5 factors are the cause of all actions, the self-I, the true I, not the body-mind, I am free from actions and fruits of actions. To think otherwise is a sign of ignorance. That we have studied that before. Who is the doer? Early in the Gita, in the 3rd chapter, Bhagwan told us who is the doer.
327.
327, you are right.
Ankar vimur atma karta aham iti manyate. I've been wanting to ask you this.
Yeah.
Who is the doer? Here they don't say. He says, please explain that.
There we were told that all actions happen at the Prakriti level, interaction between different components of Prakriti. Prakriti means nature. Body, mind are parts of nature, made of food and other things. I'm not that one. I'm the Atman. So only a foolish person who does not know this one, who erroneously think that he is the body, mind, that person suffers from the defect of Kartratvam. I am the doer. That's the problem. So that we studied in 327. What does Bhagavan Sri Krishna says there? Chapter 3, sloka 27. Prakrite kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudhatma karta aham iti manyate. Ahankara vimudhatma, a person who is egotistic. Vimudhatma means a foolish person, not able to think clearly, misinformed person. Ahankara vimudhatma, what does he or she think? Aham karta iti manyate, I am the doer. If I am the doer, then I have to enjoy the fruits of my action, good, good, bad, bad. I get stuck in that one. As opposed to this, a wise person who has self-knowledge, who has given up identity with the body-mind, which is assumed identity, and he has realized his true divine nature. What does such a person think? Such a person says, I'm not the doer. If I'm not the doer, I'm not the enjoyer of the fruits of action, good or bad. I'm free from kartritva, bhoktritva. I neither do nor subject to the fruit of action. I'm above all these things. I am the Atman, established in absolute, undisturbable, infinite, eternal Ananda. That is the goal of life, Atmajnana, self-knowledge. The same result can be obtained by pure devotion also. But here the present topic, the emphasis on self-knowledge. Same can be done by pure devotion. A person who has pure devotion, devotee, he does not think he is the doer. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, I'm not the doer. People erroneously think they are the doers. Who is the doer? He said, Divine Mother is the doer. Tamar karma tame korama loke bole koriyame. Shakali tamari. So, oh Divine Mother, you are doing your work. People, foolish people, they think that they are the doers, cause of suffering. So devotion also can lead to the same goal. So we are studying in the context of self-knowledge. So that is explained in verse number 16. The question, who is the doer, is answered in question number 16. So let us do sloka number 16. Tatraivam sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tuyaha pashyati akarta buddhitvat nasa pashyati durmatihi. Durmatihi means a person whose mind is not clear, unable to think straight. What is a person who can think clearly, who has clear mind? What is he called? Sumatihi. Sumatihi means a person whose mati means mind, thinking. He is clean, clear, no mistake. Durmati means a confused person who cannot think properly. Tatraivam sati, that being the case, what is that being the case? 5 factors mentioned earlier. They are the cause of all action, not the self. That being the case, tatraivam sati, kevalam atmanam yaha pashyati, kartaram pashyati. Kevalam atma means the pure self-consciousness. Kevalam means shuddham, pure. Atman means pure consciousness. Not body, mind, not material, but spirit. Brahman. A person who mistakenly thinks that the Atman is the doer. Mistakenly means akrita buddhitvat. Krita means done or refined. Akrita means not refined. Buddhi means mind. A person with unrefined mind, akrita buddhitvat, that means who does not think clearly, does not study, has no understanding, thinks that he is the doer, thinking he is the body and the mind. Such a person who was described as Ankara Vimodhatma in 327, akrita buddhitvat, because of unrefined mind, Atmanam yaha pashyati, kartaram pashyati, suddham atmanam, who misperceives the self to be the doer. Saha dvarmatihi, he is making a big mistake. So in other words, what is being said here is the self-Atman is nishkriya, above the field of action and result of action. Free from all actions and results of action, unaffected, witness, sakshi of everything. Then all actions happen at the body, mind, sense organ level. Therefore, all the results of action also affect the body, mind, and sense organs. None of which I am. So that is the conclusion to be done. Who is the doer? This one, already we studied this one, it's not new. 18th chapter contains many things done before. Where do we study that who the doer is the Atman? Chapter 5, slokas 8 and 9. Jnani, how a Jnani performs. Jnani also performs work. For a person who has self-knowledge, who knows he is the Atman, not the body, such person also performs the work. Like Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, Jnani used to do work. He used to get up early in the morning at 2 or 3 o'clock and go to the kitchen, help in the cooking, cutting vegetables. You do all that work. And Ajnani also does the same work. But the big difference is, the Ajnani who thinks he is the body mind, assume that he is the worker, he is the doer, and quotes the fruits of action. Good action, he enjoys good result. Oh, I did very good, I am enjoying the success. I am a successful man. If he does bad action, get bad results, so I am suffering like that. Ignorance. Jnani neither enjoys nor suffers. Neither does nor the fruit of action. They are studied in chapter 5, 8, and 9. So Jnani, when he performs a work, how can you explain his action while saying he is not the doer? 5, 8, and 9. Dear Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Naiva kinchit karomi iti yukto manyeta tattvavit. Tattvavit means a person knows the truth. Truth about one's own real identity. Not erroneous identification with the body mind, Atman. Such a person, tattvavit, who knows the truth. Such a person, what does he or she say? Naiva kinchit karomi. I'm not doing anything at all. But actually is performing all the work, same kind of work that Ajnanis do, other people do. Such as eating, walking, talking, sleeping, moving about. That kind of work Jnanis do, Ajnanis do. But Ajnani says, I am the doer, therefore I want the fruit of action. Jnani says, I am not the doer, neither karma attaches to me nor karma phala affects me. Free. Naiva kinchit karomi iti yukto manyeta tattvavit. Still he is performing all actions, such as Pashyan, Srinvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Shwapan, Shwasan, Pralapan, Visrajan, Grandhan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Napi. These are all examples of action that Jnani do, Ajnani do. Pashyan, Srinvan, seeing and hearing. Grandhan, Visrajan, holding out to things and releasing things. Unmishan, Nimishan, open and close the eyes. Breathing, eating, walking, everybody does. Jnanis do, Ajnanis do. But the Jnani says, Naiva kinchit karomi, while doing all these actions. If you ask him, a Jnani, You are doing all these things. How can you say you are not the doer? You are not doing anything. His reply is revealing. He says, second line of sloka 9 in chapter 5. Indriyani indriyarteshu vartante iti dharayan. Jnani explains how action happens. All actions happen as a result of interaction between indriya, one or more, indriyani, one or more sense organs, and eyes, and sense object. Indriyartha means sense object. For example, holding the book in my hands. How did this holding of the book happens? The mind says, hold the book in your hand. Actions there. The hand grabs the books and lifts it. So in all this series of actions, holding the book like this, where is the eye? Am I the mind which says hold the book? Am I the hand which holds the book? Am I the book which is a sense object? None of these. But yet Ajnani says, I am holding the book. Jnani says, I'm not doing anything. Naiva kinchit karami. See how interesting this topic is. So if we give up the notion of kartrutvam, agency, I'm not the doer. And if we give up the notion of bhoktrutvam, I'm not the enjoyer of the fruits of action, good or bad. I'm above action, above the fruit of action. I am the Atman. This is the Jnani's position. Difficult, but that is the truth. All of this is nicely explained by Shankaracharya in his beautiful Nirvana Shatkam composition. He says, beginning, there are 6 stanzas are there. Shatkam means hymn containing 6 stanzas. Nirvana Shatkam. Jnani's description of a Jnani who is given a body consciousness, who is Atman. Mano buddhyahankara chitta ninaham nacha shrotra jihve nacha grana netre nacha vyoma bhumihi na tejo na vayuhu chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham. Jnani's description. Manaha buddhi ahankara chittani naham. Mind, manaha buddhi, intellect, chitta, memory, part of the mind, ahankara, ego, naham, no, none of these. And I'm not the 5 elements. I'm not the hands and feet and eyes and ears. No, I'm not the sense organs. I'm not the earth, air, water, fire, and space. The 5 elements of which everything is meant. None of these things. Then who am I? Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. I'm just Sachidananda. Shiva Om Shivoham. If we have that experience, oh, we are free. We are done our part. The purpose of having been born, being born as a human being, is to reach that state. Giving up identification of the body mind, establishing my true, experiencing my true nature as Atman. Chidananda Rushava. Then our work is done. Until then, struggle. So it can be easily done by devotion also. It's also not easy. We generally think the path of devotion is easy, and it's not as easy as it is made to be, appears to be. There are also difficulties are there. To give up the ego there also. Not I, but thou, O Lord. Devotee cannot say, I am the doer. I am only an instrument. It reduces his role from doer to instrument. As a servant or as a child. Not the doer, but I am an instrument in the Lord's hands. What he does, what he makes me do, I do. I have no will of my own. Everything I do is according to the Lord's will, and I only serve as an instrument in his hands. That's my role. I'm not the doer. Now, Sri Krishna gave this instruction that you are the instrument, you are not the doer. In the Gita earlier, do you know where he said to Arjuna, you are not doer, you are only the instrument in my hands, I am the doer. Where did he say? Chapter 11, sloka 33. There, Arjuna was until then thinking that I am the doer, I have to kill all these people. How can you do kill all these people? They are my relatives, this and that. He was thinking he was the doer. Arjuna was thinking. Sri Krishna says, no, you are not the doer. I am the doer. I've already done these things. Then what is your role? Just be the instrument in my hands. I've already done these things, not only doer. It's all been done. It's a done deal, taken care of. He says to Arjuna, you think you are going to kill Duryodhana, Dushasana, Bhishma, Drona, you don't want to kill because you're relatives and friend? Forget it. They've already been taken care of. Mayavete nihataha purvameva. Purvameva already done. Maya eva, by me alone, ete sarve nihataha. They've all been killed. This is done. What is your role? Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Just be the nimitta matra, instrument only in my hands. Oh, savyasachin uses a special epithet to address Arjuna in that sloka, 1133. Savyasachin means a highly skilled archer who can release the arrows absolutely accuracy, with unfailing accuracy, with both right hand and left hand. Ambidextrous person. Arjuna had that ability. Most of us are either right-handed, or some are left-handed, but I cannot do with left hand. No, many things that I can do with my right hand. Limited, not Arjuna. So there the Lord says, don't think that you are the doer. I'm the doer. So that is the role of devotees. I'm not the doer, he's the doer, I'm an instrument at his hands. The doer is the role from doer to instrument. But in the further development, I'm not even an instrument. I'm only a servant. I'm only a child of God. Like that, we take a lower position. But Jnani says, I'm not the doer at all, totally relinquishing into worship. So we can take one of these positions. That is why sloka number 16, it says, Durmatihi sa anapashyati. He who sees the Atmana, the doer, because of unclear thinking, akrita buddhitvad, saha durmati, pashyanapi anapashyati. Even if he sees, he does not see. Most of us are in that. We are seeing, but we are not seeing. We think we are seeing everything. What we are saying is not true. Only the outer form, name and form we are seeing. The real truth we are not able to see. In ordinary daily experience also, this is the case. You cannot see. Our perception is accurate at all, not accurate at all. For example, when you see a person, how do we understand the person? From the outward appearance. First time you see a person, you come to some conclusion. Who is that person? He says, my name is so-and-so, but name is only a label. He may have different names. And you watch the dress which he is wearing, and the car he is driving, the language he is speaking, the food he is eating, the kind of work he does, and then you're a doctor, janitor, or a professor. All these things we know from outside, and we come to the conclusion he's a janitor, he's a professor in this university teaching. That's our understanding of that person. That's not true understanding. He's none of these things. These are only masks that he is wearing. Outer covering upadhis. Who is he? Atman, standing in front of us. That perception we don't have. So our perception is completely wrong. When we see somebody or something, we see the outer covering and come to the conclusion that it is the covering. But true perception, vision, means piercing through these outward layers of personality and seeing the self there in that person, seeing God in that person. That is true perception, that is true vision. You have to strive for that one. When you see somebody, we should remember, at least remind ourselves, God has come in this form. There's at least some thought we should put in our mind. It will take us quite some time to get that experience, but we should begin somewhere. That is how we have to begin. Baby steps, one small steps from where we are. So, saha pashyanapi na pashyati, akarta buddhi. That is the truth. Atman is not the doer, body, mind, doer. Therefore, result of all action affects only body and the mind, and not the Atman. Now we go to the verse number 17 onwards. We study a very important topic. This came earlier also. When a person gives up the notion of doership, that person is also free from the effects of action. Kartrutvam is given up, bhoktrutvam is also given up, free from the result of action. That we studied in chapter 4. A jnani who has self-knowledge is neither the doer nor the enjoyer of the fruits of action. About the doership and result of action, he remains free Atman. We studied that in chapter 4, in 4 or 5 verses. Now it is coming up again for emphasis, for revision. There, the Lord had said, a jnani, though he performs all actions, is free from the fruits of actions. Nothing binds him. Whatever work a jnani does, man or woman is immaterial. The jnana level, there is no gender. Only body-mind level, gender is there. Whatever a jnani performs without the notion of doership. It's happening at my body, mind, sense organ level. I am not the doer. Jnani's position. When the result of action comes, Jnani says, I am not affected by the outcome of my action. Only body, mind, sense organs enjoy the fruit or good or bad of the actions, and I am neither the doer nor the enjoyer of the fruits of action. I am free from all these things. That came in chapter 4, 4, 5 sloka, 19, 20, 21, 22. The same topic comes here for repetition, review, and emphasis. For a moment, let us go back to this chapter 4, because we have to go back and study previous sloka. Otherwise, we keep on forgetting what we studied and keep on reading new things and comes this way and goes that way. No, we have to frequently go back and study earlier sloka. Let's take this opportunity now a little bit. Chapter 4, verses 19 onwards. Chapter 4, 18, 19. 19, 20, 21, 22. There, quickly, we are not going to study in detail. We studied before. Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitah jnanagnidagda karmanam tamahu panditam buddha. Who is a pandita? Wise person whose all actions have been burnt by the fire of knowledge. Now that means not worldly knowledge, self-knowledge, Atmajnana. For a Atmajnani, no actions at all. Is above the field of actions. Such a person is a Jnani. For such a person, result of action does not affect good or bad. It remains above that one. Yasya sarve samarambaha kama sankalpa varjitaha. All his or her actions are free from the motivations of kama and krodha. Much of our actions are motivated by desire. We do something because we want to do it, get the result of therefrom. Desire motivates action, but not for a jnani. What action a jnani does is not because of desire, fulfill any desire, but duty to be done mostly for the sake of other people, not for oneself. Or for oneself only body maintenance activities. Minimum eating, spending minimum effort on dress, food, clothing, sleeping, etc. Much of the work of a jnani is for the loka sangraha, for the benefit of other people, to set up a standard, to serve as a guideline for other people, and to help others. Jnani's work is all about that one. Untouched by fruit of action. 4:19. Then next sloka, 4:20. Unaffected by the fruit of action. Tyaktva karma phala sangam nityatripto nirashrayah karmanya vipravritto api naiva kinchit karoti saha. Jnani does action but does not do action. Though engaged in action, no doership. That is explained nicely in sloka number 20, chapter 4. Karma phala sangam tyaktva. Giving up attachment to the fruits of actions. We are attached to the fruits of action. I'm doing this, I must get the benefit of this action. That should be given up. I'm doing it as an offering, benefit or no benefit, not up to me. Given up. Detachment. Karma phala sangam tyaktva Nitya traptaha, ever content with what one has, no greed for more. Have this much, I am happy with this. Have very little, I am happy with this one. No hankering for more, whatever. Money, food, clothing, whatever. A little bit enough. Basic necessities not enough. Nirashrayaha, independent, not depending upon other people, other things for one's own comfort. Karmani abhipravrittopi, though engaged in all kinds of actions, mostly for other people, not for selfish reason. Naiva kinchit karomi sa, he does not do anything. That means he has no doership. Whatever action a jnani does, or a devotee does, not for one's own benefit, enjoyment, mostly to as a service to the Lord, offering to the Lord, offering to other people, society, animals and plants, not for me. That is the attitude of a jnani. Then they become free from kartritva, bhoktritva. Action do not affect us. Result of action does not affect us. Then 422, very important verse. Yadrichala basantushto dvandvatito vimatsaraha samasiddhavasiddhau cha krutvapi nanibhajyate. Krutvapi, karma krutvapi, even if a person does all kinds of actions, jnani, nanibhajyate is not bound by the actions or by the fruits of action. He remains free. An ordinary person does the same action, but with attachment, out of selfish reason, gets bound by the result of action. Continuation in the cycle. Jnani does not do that one. A jnani has other virtues also. 422. Yadrichalabha santushta. Santushta means contented with whatever one has, not hankering for more. If you have two shirts and two dhotis, that is enough. I can wash and wear one, wash one and wear one. Some people have 10, 15 different dresses. Still they want to acquire more. Everything they see something new in the store, they want to buy that one. That is not contentment. That is greed. Cause of trouble. Yadrichalabha santushta. Whatever comes with that, remaining happy. Not hankering for more of anything. Dvandvatitaha. Free from the pairs of dualities, happiness and unhappiness, pain and pleasure, praise and blame. All these things affect an ordinary person. Only in the second chapter, Sri Krishna said, become free from dvandva, your dvandva bhava. So free from dualities, jnani remains equanimous. When success comes, does not become elated, failure happens, accept it calmly. Vimatsaraha, free from jealousy. Samasiddhavasiddhau, it's a very important virtue. Siddhi means success, Vasiddhi means failure. Siddha Vasiddhau cha samaha, remaining equanimous in success and failure. Why? How? Because as you studied before, 5 factors, they cause success and failure. The result of action depends upon the 5 factors, Adhishtanam, Tatha, Karta, etc. None of which I am. So if failure happens not because of me, I've done my best. Failure happens because of other factors over which I had no control. So I'm not going to be worried about failure. Do I do my best? Success or failure is not in my hands. Other factors determine it. I accept both. Success, failure is equanimity. Samasiddha, Vasiddha. Siddha means success, Asiddhi means failure. Remaining calm. This instruction comes many times in the Gita. One place where I really want to emphasize, though it is repetition, I want to repeat that one. Chapter 2, sloka 48. Because this is very important for our daily life. These are all things that affect our daily life. This is not philosophy. Practical instruction for moment to moment, day by day living. That's why we have to emphasize them, repeat them. 248. What did Bhagavan say there? Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Very important verse. Siddhyo siddhyo samo bhutva. Remaining equanimous in success and failure, having done our best. Such a person is a yogi. Samatvam. So that comes here. We are doing 422. Samasiddha vasiddha ucha kritva pi ganibhadyate. If such a person does all actions, still ganibhadyate, does not bound. He is not bound by the action, result of action. Freedom from kartrutva, bhoktatva. So 422. All of these slokas in the 4th chapter already contain what is saying in the 17th sloka of chapter 18. A jnani has no kartatva, does not say I am the doer. Body, mind, action, sense organ do the action, I am not that one. A jnani is not affected by the fruit of action, good or bad, success or failure. Because success or failure affects the body, mind, and sense organs, I am not affected. That is sign of self-knowledge. So to perform all the actions and live in the world like everybody else, not trying to escape action, doing everything necessary, still remaining calm, unperturbed by other actions or the fruit of action, jnani. Establish abiding in self-knowledge. I am not the body mind, I am the Atman. That solution to all problems. Any problem that we encounter in life, of any type, solution is to have self-knowledge. Then I'm above the domain of karma phala. Establish an absolute peace and abiding in the Sachidananda, absolute infinite peace. Nothing disturbs us. That is the way to peace. Otherwise, seeking peace in worldly things by manipulating here and there, if I do this, I'll be peaceful. If I do that, I'll be successful. They are not really solutions. They don't give us lasting peace. The true peace, true and permanent peace, eternal peace, unconditional peace, infinite peace comes only by self-knowledge or pure devotion. So we'll stop here with 1817. We'll continue this same topic for a couple more verses. Then some very interesting topics come in this chapter. From sloka 19 onwards, Bhagavan is going to describe a series of things. 3 kinds of tyaga already came before. 3 kinds of jnana. Sattvic jnana, knowledge is of 3 kinds. Sattvic knowledge, rajasic knowledge, tamasic knowledge. 3 kinds of karma. Sattvic karma, sometimes you do rajasic karma, sometimes tamasic karma. So we have to know the difference. Sattvic karma, rajasic karma, tamasic karma. They will be described in this remaining slokas in this chapter. And then 3 kinds of buddhi. Some people's buddhi is very clear intellect, clear thinking is clear, sattvic buddhi. Some people are rajasic buddhi, some tamasic buddhi, always ending up doing very wrong, violent things. Tamasic buddhi. So all that will come in this chapter. We'll study them. Now let us stop here and say the closing prayer. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Om, may all be happy. May all be free from ill health and other problems. May all realize and practice what is noble and dharmic. May no one be subject to any kind of suffering. Om, peace. May there be peace and joy in our hearts. May there be peace and harmony amongst us all. And may there be peace everywhere in nature. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you all and stay well. God willing. See you next week.
Swamiji, I was wondering, is co-creation with God same as being an instrument of God?
I'm not hearing. What did you say?
I said co-creation with God, being a co-creator, small percentage. Is that same as being an instrument of God?
being the instrument of God, as Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, be an instrument in my hands, means that we do the best we can, and it really being done by the Lord himself. My body mind happens to be only an instrument. I submit, and what he makes me do, that I shall do. For that, one should not have the ego. If I am egotistic, I cannot be an instrument. Then I think I am the doer. So we have to submit our ego to the Lord. I am not I, but thou. That attitude, if you have, then he the doer, I am only happen to be. Even that is a great good fortune, that he has chosen me to be the instrument to get this work done by me. He could have chosen 100 much better instruments than this instrument. The great privilege to be chosen as the instrument. I do my best as an instrument, serve as the best instrument. He the doer, and all actions are being done by the Lord. I am only an instrument, and I am not affected by the action or by the fruits of action. That way, you reduce the ego. Ego is still there. I am still have a place as an instrument. But the next step is I am not the doer, not even the instrument. Everything happens by the Lord. That's one more. This is a little bit better. At least I have some place as an instrument, if not the doer. So there are different attitudes we can take. Worst attitude, I am the doer. Best attitude, I am not the doer, Jnani. But in between, for people like us, we can think of ourselves either as an instrument or as a servant. That's Shankara says in the 3rd chapter, sloka 30. I am the servant of the Lord. As a servant, I am doing all my work as my offering service to him. And my part is only to be a servant. That way, I am still there, the doer, but much reduced status as servant. Or I am a child of God, or I am a devotee of God. I do everything as my offering to him, as he says many times. So these are various positions we can take, as long as ego is required to be still there. The ultimate says I am not the doer at all, the highest. These are things, intermediate position that we can assume.
So we are not the co-creators with God, just instruments. Co-creation means very small, helping God as his instrument. That's what I was trying to think. Is that the same?
What way to help God? He doesn't need our help. He doesn't need
Right.
anything from us, not even our work or anything. It's a grace because he lets us be the instrument. That's the grace. Not that he needs anything from us.
Maharaj, I have a question. So when we studied verse 16, there this word akrita buddhi came. It was not clear to me what it meant. Could you?
Akrita buddhi means unrefined mind. Akrita means unrefined buddhi. That means the rajasic buddhi, tamasic buddhi. Sattvic buddhi is refined mind. Okay. Then our thinking is straightforward and not mistaken. Akrita buddhi means a person who cannot think accurately, clearly, and properly, mixed kind of thinking. They think that I am the doer. That should be revised.
Swamiji, can you hear me?
If we have Akrita buddhi, we can refine that one by self-effort, prayer, and achieve purity of mind. That has to be done, can be done.
Swamiji, can you hear me? Can I be heard? Am I heard? Can you hear me?
Say it again. Which one?
Can you hear me, Swamiji? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Swamiji, my question is...
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can hear you. But can you hear me?
If you can't hear, can you?
Yes, you ask the question, please.
So, Swamiji, when the Lord says, me vete nihta purva meva nimit matribhav swav sachin, then he is saying that he is the doer, right?
Yeah.
So that means he represents Atman.
Everything happens That everything happened by the will of Lord. He means not a person like us with your hands and feet, not doing like that one. That's what we understand from our perspective. He is simply his power, his presence makes everything happen. He does not himself. For example, give an example. I'll illustrate how he is the doer but not doer of anything. Take the example of the sun. Does the sun come down to the earth and do all the work? No, he stays in the sky. But because of his presence, everything happens on this earth. Crops grow, animals live, people live, rain happens, seasons happen, all happens by the power of the sun. But he himself does not do anything. He stays in the sky shining, that's his nature. So God himself does not do everything just like that. We think we are doing it with our hands and feet. Not like that. His very presence makes everything happen. His kartritva is different from our kartritva.
So when he says in one shloka, Ankar Vimur Atma Karta Ahamiti Manyate, that is the ego, is it?
That is the Ahamkarta ati manyate is for ordinary people who think, referring to body mind, we think we are the doer. So I does not mean the body mind. I means the Atman, the no doership for Atman. Doership happens because of 5 factors we studied before.
Yes.
Adhyanam, Karta, Karanam, Cheshta, Vidakpra, and Daivam, past action. None of which a jnani is. So that is a different, altogether different perspective. To make it easier, Lord has provided intermediate several positions we can take. I'm a servant of God. That's the best. Sri Ramakrishna said that's the best attitude. I'm a servant of God, Dasa. I'm the doer. I still keep the doership. I am the doer, but I'm doing everything as a service, as an offering to please the Lord, not for my benefit. My offering, my humble service. Hanuman used to do everything for Rama. Whatever Rama wanted done, before he expressed, Hanuman would get it done patiently, nicely. So as a servant, I am doing everything to offer it to the Lord, but I am not the doer. I am only a servant, instrument in his hands. That way we can keep the eye, some places there, but still I'm not at the highest level. I'm not the doer. That is a little bit more difficult. That comes. I never kanchit karami comes at the last stage when total body consciousness is given up. That takes some time to reach that stage.
And when they say gunas of prakriti are the reason for doing, what does that mean then? In chapter 3, first line is gunas of prakriti. The actions happen because of gunas of prakriti.
Now, durmati hi napashyati. Pasyanapena. He's saying, but he's saying the wrong thing. Let's not we are do most of the time. We see, but we are not saying the right thing. We think we are saying, but what we are saying is not the truth. That's the appearance only. The change, appearance changes. That's not the truth. The truth is unchanging reality in between. So that pure consciousness in behind all this real existence, that is real existence. The body, mind, and furniture, and wood, and gold, and all, they are only materials and names and forms. They are not the real stuff. Pure consciousness is the real stuff. If I see a golden ring made of gold, I see the ring. The ring means name and form, function. Really, what I am seeing is the gold. So like that, whatever I am seeing in this world is all pure consciousness. But I'm seeing it as the building, as other people, good and bad, animal, everything. Those are all superimposed names and forms. Reality is the Atman. So that is, to cultivate that perspective, it takes some time. You have to do that one. What am I seeing? What am I seeing? Is it the truth or is it the covering of the truth? So all this makes us think deeply on these topics. Very good. We will stop here and continue next time. Until then, all of you stay well.